children, how are you? I hope you all are doing well, studying well, obeying your parents and trying out to find different things that are happening around you in the nature. So children, sometimes on news we hear about certain calamities that are happening around us, like the floods, okay, when due to heavy rainfall, okay. Sometimes we hear about earthquakes, sometimes people talk about tsunamis, sometimes people talk about areas of drought, okay. Now what are these? These are called natural disasters, okay. That means disasters that are happening in a natural manner. Alright, so let's talk about them, okay. Let's talk about the different types of natural disasters, how these natural disasters occur, ill effects of tidal waves and droughts, okay. So children, in this chapter, natural disasters, okay, we know that the events which cause damage to human life, animals and the property, they are called disasters, okay, or calamities. Now, most of the natural disasters occur due to natural reasons and are known as natural calamities or natural disasters. Example, the floods, the droughts, tidal waves, volcanoes, earthquakes and forest fires. So, these are certain things that happen due to the changes in the nature, okay. It is not human made, like floods and all. It happens why? It happens due to heavy rainfall, okay. Heavy rainfall causes floods, okay. Water starts accumulating and then results in floods. Earthquakes, okay, that also happens in a natural manner. So, all these things that happen in a natural manner, okay, are known as natural calamities or natural disasters, okay. Now, let us talk about floods. In most parts of our country, we get very heavy rains, okay, during the monsoon season. The water in the rivers, they rise above the danger level and then it flows into the nearby land and it causes what? It causes floods, okay. Effects of floods. Now, what happens when a flood occurs? Due to flood, there is water logging everywhere and it happens not only for 1 day or 2 days, it goes on beyond, it is more than that, okay. So, it can occur for several days, okay. Because of this, there is shortage of food, there is shortage of drinking water and shelter, because when floods occur, the areas get drowned in water, and when they get drowned in water, obviously people do not have areas to live in, so they do not have a proper shelter, okay. Then there is lack of food, because there is water everywhere, people can't go out to get food, okay. There is lack of drinking water. Then electric lines, okay, water supply and communication network, it also gets affected, okay. The unhygienic condition caused, okay, it leads to outbreak of diseases that like cholera, okay. These are waterborne diseases. So, waterborne diseases are at the peak because of the unhygienic condition. In floods, when the water starts flowing at a very heavy speed, okay, everything gets mixed in that water, okay, and hence after the rain stops and also whatever the water is accumulated and all, the floods that have occurred, it is carrying all the different types of elements in it, okay. Now, many people and animal, they die due to drowning, okay, they die due to hunger, thirst or disease, okay. Some of them are stuck under the tree, okay, or under the houses that have flown in the water, okay. Now, roads, crops, houses and other properties also get damaged. So, what shall be done before flood? Okay, so, weather forecasting system, it plays a very important role in such a situation. So, if the weather forecasting team knows that already that a flood is going, that there is going to be a heavy rainfall, okay, and there are chances of certain areas to get flooded, what they can do is they can ask the people to move out from that area and go to a safer zone, okay, which can help prevent the loss of life at least, Okay. Now, a warning given to people through TV, newspaper, radio helps the people to move to safer places. Okay. Now, what shall be done after the flood? The people stranded in the floods, they must be evacuated. They may be airlifted by helicopters. So, sometimes in the flood areas you will see helicopters come and they lift the people and then they take them to the safer areas, or there are boats that are sent through which people can go to the safer areas. The stranded people must be given food, medicines and water. So, the relief camps should be set up. Doctors shall be put on duty to control the outbreak of disease. Okay. So, in these areas people do require a lot of medical care also, okay, because obviously as we said, there people may have got injured. Okay, they may have got stuck somewhere, they get injured, there is a lot of unhygienic water that is flowing, lot of things get mixed with the water. So, there is a chance of different types of diseases that may happen. Okay, that's why relief camps have to be set up, medical camps have to be set up, okay, and doctors have to be put on duty. Now, in areas of droughts, okay, if a particular area receives no rain or less rainfall, okay, than normal for a long time, okay, it is declared as drought affected area. Now, in several drought area, okay, droughts, people may even die because of shortage of food. This is known as famine. Crops will not grow. The shortage of grains, fruits, vegetables, they affect all of us, and livestock and animals die due to shortage of fodder and water. So, flood is excess of rainfall, droughts is less or no rainfall at all. So, if there is no rainfall, there are no crops, there are no plants. Okay. So, what happens? Eventually there is no food, there is no water. So, when there is a shortage of food and because of that people die, it is known as a situation of famine. Okay. Now, crops will not grow in these areas, there is shortage of everything possible that is required for the survival of the person, that especially food and water. Okay. Now, similarly animals also die apart from human beings. Okay. Now, what is afforestation? This can increase rainfall, reduce the chances of drought. So, this is something that we can do. Okay. Plant more trees. Trees play a vital role, okay, in the process of rainfall. Okay. So, when we have lot of trees, you will see there is lot of rainfall in those areas. Where there are less trees, okay, or a barren island will have less rainfall, okay, because there is no formation of water vapor. Okay, trees help in the formation of water vapor in the process of water cycle. Okay. Now, water harvesting. This can increase the underground water level and help us when water is scarce. So, this is another method that can help us to prevent drought situation. So, whenever it rains, there can be underground water that is collected, which can help, okay, in the scarcity of water. Now, tidal waves. What are tidal waves? They are commonly known as tsunamis. Okay. A tsunami is caused by undersea earthquake or by a severe hurricane or cyclone. Now, waves from the sea, they come rolling towards the shore and cause destruction within seconds. So, when this earthquake happens under the sea or there is a severe hurricane or cyclone, okay, the waves, they come out of the sea, okay, near the shore within seconds, and the waves are really very high, okay, they are above their normal limit. So, the undersea earthquake which occurred in the Indian Ocean caused tsunami on 26 December 2004, in which thousands of people from India, Sri Lanka and Indonesia, they lost their lives and properties worth crore of rupees. So, it can again ruin everything, all the areas in and around the sea, okay, around the sea, whatever is there, everything can get destroyed because of tsunamis. Okay, and one such tsunami occurred in the Indian Ocean in the year 2004, where lots of people died or were injured, okay, and many people suffered a lot of losses. Okay, now let's talk about volcanoes. A volcano is an opening on the earth's surface which allows hot molten rock, ash and gases called magma to escape from below the surface. Now, these burst out of the earth's crust through a vertical tunnel called a vent, okay, and this hot molten rock is called lava. Okay. Based on the nature of eruptions, volcanoes can be classified into three types. Active volcano, these volcanoes are active, they may erupt any time or have erupted in recent past. Mount Vesuvius, Mount Etna, Mount Fuji and Mount Erebus are some active volcanoes. So, children, what is a volcano? It is the opening on the earth's surface in which which allows the hot molten rock, ash and gases. Okay. Now, all these hot molten rock, ash and gases, they are together called as magma. Okay. Now, this magma, it escapes from the surface of the earth, okay, and these then they escape from there and then they burst out of the earth's crust, okay, through a vertical tunnel. Now, it is like a tunnel which is formed and they burst and they come out of it, okay. Now, when they come out, like how a smoke comes out of the chimney, in a similar manner in the volcanoes, okay, these magma, this magma, it bursts and comes out of the vent, okay, which is the opening on top of that on top of the mountain, okay. There's a vent through which this molten magma, it comes out, okay. Now, this hot molten rock, this is known as the lava, okay. Now, these eruptions, they can be classified into different types, like there are active volcanoes, which can burst anytime, okay. The eruption can happen anytime, they are active, okay. There is no specific time, it can just happen, okay, depending on the heat that is being accumulated under, okay. Now, different types of active volcanoes include Mount Vesuvius, Mount Etna, Mount Fuji and Mount Erebus. Now, let us talk about dormant volcanoes. Okay, what are these? These volcanoes have not erupted in recent years, but there is a chance that they may erupt in the future. So, they are not active, but they are not completely gone also. They can occur. There are chances of it to occur, okay, to erupt. So, Mount St. Helens has been classified as dormant. Okay. So, now let us talk about extinct volcanoes. Okay. Now, these volcanoes, they have stopped erupting. Some of the extinct volcanoes are Mount Egerton in New Zealand and Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Okay. Now, the Barren in Island, okay, is the only active volcano in the Indian subcontinent and is located in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So, this is the only volcano that is in the towards the Indian side, which is in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, okay, called the Barren Island. Okay. Now, earthquakes. What are earthquakes? Okay, it is a sudden shaking of the ground caused by movements and vibrations deep inside the earth. Okay. It ranges from a mild tremor, that is shaking of the earth, to a vigorous motion. So, earthquake, okay, you must have felt it sometimes, okay, sometimes it does occur, okay, you feel the vibration that something is moving, it's shaking. So, what is it? It is earthquake is a sudden shaking of the ground caused by movements or vibrations which happen deep inside the earth, okay. Now, these shakes can be mild, okay, or they can be like really very heavy, okay, you can feel them. Now, what are the reasons for these earthquakes to happen? What causes earthquakes? The earth's upper layer, the upper layer of the earth, which is the crust, it is made up of plates. Okay, now the layers of the earth under the plates. So, the upper layer of the earth, there are plates on that. Now, the layer which is below these plates, okay, it is hot and it is in a molten state. Now, these layers under the plate are constantly moving. So, they are like constantly in a motion, they keep on moving. Usually, such movements cause the plates slide smoothly against each other. So, usually they are sliding smoothly towards against each other. Okay. Now, however, there are times between the plates, okay, that can be sudden, giving rise to earthquakes. Okay. So, however, at times the movement between the plates can be sudden. Usually it is smooth, but sometimes it can be sudden, which gives rise to earthquakes. The study of earthquake is called seismology. Okay. So, there are people who study the earthquake occurrences and the study is known as seismology. Now, how can you measure the earthquake? The point under the ground where these vibrations originate, okay, is called focus of the earthquake. The point of the earth's surface directly above the focus is called the epicenter of the earthquake. The earthquake waves are recorded by an instrument which is known as the seismograph. The magnitude of an earthquake is measured on Richter scale. The numbers on the scale range from 1 to 10. Earthquakes of intensity 3 or less are of low intensity and they do not cause much damage. An earthquake of intensity 6 or above, they cause massive destruction. So, now where the earthquake happens, okay, like the point under the ground, okay, where these vibrations originate. So, point under the ground where the earthquake originates is known as the focus of the earthquake. Now, the point on the earth's surface directly above the focus, okay, now where the earthquake has happened, okay, that is known as the focus point, and the area above the focus point is known as the epicenter of the earthquake. Now, the earthquake waves, they are recorded by an instrument. Now, this instrument is known as the seismograph. So, it records the waves of the earthquake, the intensity of the earthquake. Now, the magnitude of the earthquake are recorded by an instrument called the seismograph. The magnitude of the earthquake is measured on what? It is measured on Richter scale. Okay, the scale, like we measure anything on a scale of 1 to 10, like that for earthquake the scale is known as the Richter scale. So, again the numbers on the scale, they range from 1 to 10, wherein if the earthquake's intensity is 3 or below 3, okay, that means it was of a low intensity. But if it is above 6, that means it was a high intensity earthquake and it can cause a lot of destruction, a mass destruction. So, anything that comes in between 3 to 6 again is termed as mild, okay, and manageable. But if it goes above 6, that means it will cause destruction. Okay. Now, you have seen that due to earthquake, a lot of damage to the property happens, okay, to life happens, okay, buildings collapse completely, okay, houses collapse. So, it can cause a lot of destruction. Okay. There are certain things that we need to follow. All right. Now, let us do this activity first. We have to construct a structure out of drinking straws. Put it on the table. Now, shake the table. What will happen? Can it withstand an earthquake? Try some other designs and see if they can withstand tremors or not. So, try to put different items and see when you move the table, you know what will happen. All right. Now, what are the effects of earthquake? What can happen when an earthquake happens? Okay. So, in case of an earthquake, okay, cracks may develop in the walls of buildings. Sometimes buildings collapse, trees they may fall, bridges may break, electric wires may short and result in fire. Okay. Dams they may burst and they cause floods. Landslides may take place which disrupt the transport and communication system. Destruction of life and property. About 20,000 people died in Gujarat on 26 January 2001 due to massive earthquake. Japan is prone to earthquakes also. Okay? So, earthquakes can also damage everything in a major manner. Of course, if the intensity is above 6, okay, there are chances of a major damage. Okay, the damage is not only the buildings falling, but it can, the trees may fall, the bridges may break, the electric wires may get short circuits, and the fire can break open. Then dams, they can burst, it can cause floods, landslides, okay, the hills, okay, the mountains, they can get cracked up, okay, landslides can happen. Okay. So, one such high intensity earthquake happened on 26 January 2001, okay, in Gujarat, and many people lost their lives and lots of property was destroyed. Okay. Now, what should you do in case of an earthquake? What are the precautionary measures to be taken if an earthquake occurs? Okay. If there is an earthquake, run out of the building immediately and stand when nothing can fall on you. So, stand in an open area where nothing can fall on you. If you are unable to run out, take refuge under a table to protect yourself from falling objects. So, always try to hide below the table, because we have cupboards and all in the house. So, if the intensity of the earthquake is high, the cupboards may fall. Okay. Things that are kept on top, they may fall down. So, that is the reason why we must hide under the table. Okay. Now, buildings should be designed earthquake proof. So, let's revise this chapter and talk about and see how much we followed about the natural disasters. Alright. So, what are disasters? They are events which cause damage to life, property, etc. Natural disasters, they make life miserable for those who are affected. Okay. So, they make life miserable for those who are affected by these calamities. Okay. Floods are caused by excessive rainfall, whereas droughts are caused by less rainfall. Tidal waves are commonly called tsunami. Volcanoes occur when lava from deep within Earth's crust rushes out. Volcanoes can be active, dormant and extinct. Seismologists use seismographs to measure earthquakes on Richter scale. Okay? Now, let's do this exercise quickly. Alright, take the correct option. The person who studies earthquakes is known as astrologer, biologist, seismologist or astronomer. It is the seismologist. In terms of natural disasters, active, dormant and extinct are the types of volcanoes, earthquakes, tsunami or floods. It is volcanoes. Okay. The only active volcano in India is Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Fuji, Mount Etna or Barren Island. It is the Barren Island. Okay, Barren Island. Now, earthquakes are caused due to movement in Earth's crust, excessive pressure, excessive heat or heavy rain. It is the movement in the Earth's crust. Floods cause waterlogging, surplus of food, active volcanoes or vibrations. It is the waterlogging. Okay. Which one of the following is not a natural disaster? Terrorist attack, tsunami, earthquake or volcano? It is the terrorist attack. Who are terrorists? They are humans, okay, who kill people for some reasons of their own. Okay. So, which one of the following is not related to earthquake, tremors, seismograph, tsunami or epicenter? It is tsunami. Okay. Fill in the blanks. Events that cause damage to the life and property is known as disaster. Dash measure earthquakes on Richter scale. What is it? Seismologist. Floods may cause dash disease, cholera disease. The magma that reaches the Earth's surface is called lava. Very strong wind with very heavy rainfall in coastal areas is called tidal waves. The intensity of an earthquake is measured on Richter scale. True or false? An earthquake is a natural calamity? Absolutely true. Earthquakes cause widespread damage to life and property? Yes, they do. The layers under the plates are stationary? No, they are moving in a smooth manner. Okay. Tidal waves are called tsunamis? Yes. Barren Island is the only active volcano in the Indian subcontinent? Absolutely true. It is situated in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay. Take the odd one out. Tremors, earthquake, shock waves or volcano. Okay, which is the odd one here? Shock waves. Magma, volcano, landslide or lava. It is the landslide. Floods, volcanoes, earthquake or war? War. Ocean waves, floods, tidal waves or tsunami. Okay, which is the odd one here? It is the floods. Okay. Now, match the column A with column B. Shortage of food due to droughts is known as famine. Measuring earthquakes, it is the seismograph. Earth's movement is known as the earthquake. Tidal waves, tsunami, and waterlogging is flood. Give one word for the passage through which lava travels. It is known as the vent. The instrument used to measure earthquake is the seismograph. An opening in the earth's crust that allows magma to reach the earth's surface, again it's a vent. The hot molten rock, ash and gases which escape from below the surface are known as the magma. Okay? Take the right option. The epicenter of the earthquake is a point on the earth's surface above the focus or on the earth's surface below the focus. It is below the focus. Okay? An opening in the earth's crust that allows magma to reach the earth's surface is geyser or volcano. It is volcano. Seismometer or seismograph is used to record seismic waves. It is seismograph. Geologist or seismologist study about the earthquakes. It's the seismologist. Barren Island or Bhuj is the only active volcano in India. It is Barren Island. Okay. Now, quickly reread the chapter and start answering these questions. Okay. What are disasters? Okay. It's a short answer. How droughts and floods are caused. What should be done before the flood? So, what are the precautions that you need to take before the flood occurs, okay, or is going to happen? How intensity of earthquake is measured? What is the scale, okay, and what is the instrument used? When did undersea earthquake occur in Indian Ocean? Okay, the date we've already mentioned in the chapter. Okay, long answer questions. What is tsunami? How does a tsunami affect human life? So, tidal waves, tsunami, underwater earthquakes. Okay, so elaborate this and write in detail. Okay, what should you do if there is an earthquake? So, in case of an earthquake, what are the precautionary measures that you must take? How do volcanoes erupt? And name 3 types of volcanoes. What are the different types of volcanoes and how does a volcano erupt? The method. Okay. Why is good weather forecasting system important for reducing the damage due to floods? So, what can be prevented if the weather forecasting system is good? What steps should be taken to reduce the effects of droughts? So, how can droughts be reduced? Now, critical thinking skills. Famine occurs whenever there is scanty of rainfall. Explain. Okay, it occurs due to droughts. Okay, that means there is no rainfall, there is scarcity of food. Okay, we should have earthquake proof buildings. Why? They sway with the earthquake, but they do not collapse. Okay, they will move, but they will not collapse. Okay, that is why we should have earthquake proof buildings. Case based study. The Earth's upper layer, the crust, is made up of plates. The layers of the earth under the plates, they are hot and are in molten state. These layers under the plates are constantly moving. Usually, such movements cause the plates slide smoothly against each other. However, at times the movement between the plates can be sudden, giving rise to earthquakes. The study of earthquake is called seismology. The point under the ground where these vibrations originate is called focus of the earthquake. The point on the earth's surface directly above the focus is called the epicenter of the earthquake. The earthquake waves are recorded by an instrument called seismograph. The magnitude of an earthquake is measured on Richter scale. The numbers on the scale range from 1 to 10. Earthquakes of intensity 3 or less, they are of low intensity and they do not cause much damage. Earthquake of intensity 6 or above, they cause massive destruction. Okay. The point under the ground where these vibrations originate is called as the epicenter focus seismograph. On one of these, it is the focus. The point on the earth's surface directly above the focus is called the epicenter of the earthquake. The earthquake is measured by seismograph. Okay, what are the different causes of earthquake? Okay, this is what you have to mention. Okay, now life skills. You have to take plaster of Paris and make a thick paste with water. Set this on a thick cardboard in the form of a volcano. Okay, on the top of it, put a small bowl on the top of the volcano. Okay, you put a small bowl, put some colored water and a spoonful of baking soda. Now add 8 to 10 drops of vinegar. You will see the eruption of a volcano. Do this under the supervision of an adult. Okay, now let's do something new. You have to collect newspaper and magazine clippings of reports and pictures related to the natural calamities in India and then paste them in your scrapbook. Okay? And the second activity is that there are 10 words from the lesson in this word search. Circle them. One is done for you. Okay? So, you will find words like seismograph is there. Then you have the word like this, disaster, epicenter. Find more words like this. Okay? Now, draw a color coded map of your home. Identify the areas that would be safe in an earthquake. Green areas and those that could be dangerous in case of an earthquake. Okay? Red areas. Check if your house has an emergency plan and emergency items. Okay? Write a paragraph on your family needs to do a better preparation for an earthquake. Okay, so draw a map of your house. Okay, mark the areas which are safer, mark the areas that can be dangerous. Okay, so what all precautions can you take? Okay, write about it. Now explore. New Zealand is situated on the Ring of Fire, a geographic belt encircling the Pacific Ocean containing about 90% of the Earth's volcanoes. There are 6 active volcanic regions in New Zealand, 5 in the North Island and 1 in the northern offshore islands. Find out the different types of volcanoes that are found in New Zealand. So, before you explore and find more about the volcanoes in New Zealand, okay, quickly reread the chapter, finish all the exercises and complete the activities as well. So, get going.